Welcome to EPG Pathshala. In the paper Web Application Development using PHP, today I am going to deliver a lecture on array. The learning objective of today's topic is Introduction to Array, Array element, index and value, how you can add an element into an array, how you can delete an element from an array, for each loop, associative array and few built-in functions available for array. So, let us take first about introduction to array. So, array is a data type in PHP, because we know that there are data type like integer, string. Same way array is a data type in PHP, and array can store many items of same data type or different data types. That means array is capable to store multiple items of the same data type or different data types, and array element has index and value. That means whatever the thing you put in array is considered one element, and element can store value. So, that value is stored at particular index. So, we can say that array element has index and value. Now, the array index data type can be either integer or string, while the value of an item can be any of PHP data type. By default, data type of array index is integer. To create an array, the general syntax is you can just write array name variable. Array is a variable, $array name is assigned to array, and into parenthesis you can provide values separated by comma. So, this is the one line you can create array. You can create array by using multiple statements. So, for that you can write $array name is assigned to array and empty parenthesis is compulsory, and then you can write $array name into square bracket index and assignment operator and provide value. Now, the index in the array is begin with 0, not 1. So, when you count, the maximum value of array count is 1 less than the total value. That means, if you store 10 value, then the maximum value for array index is 9, because it begins from 0. And to count how many number of elements in array, you can use the count function, which is general syntax is count, and you have to pass parameter $array name. Let us take one example to create array. So, as usual, let me open one of my notepad file, and in the notepad file I am start writing my PHP code. So, I begin PHP code by typing angle bracket question mark PHP and question mark angle bracket, means opening and closing tag of PHP. Let me save this file save as onto my H drive has a WAMP folder, WAMP has a www directory, in that EPG folder. Let me create new folder, and I give this folder name as array1. The reason is that I divide array into lectures. So, this is my first lecture of array. So, that is why I define as array, and here I define new and write create array dot PHP. To define an array, as I say, you have to take any variable. So, let me take $names is assigned to array. Let me provide some value. Say for example, here I write Dhaval, Mitesh, Rajesh, Paresh. So, this is the array that I define in the single line. These all are array elements: Dhaval, Mitesh, Rajesh, its value, and the index is Dhaval is stored at index 0, Mitesh is stored at index 1, Rajesh is stored at index 2, etc. You want to extract it by just simply typing echo $names and 2. Let me write here to give idea echo br the name at index 2 in array dollar names is, so echo dollar names and index 2, this is actually third element, it should display Rajesh. To run it, let me start my WAMP server. As it is, color changes from red to orange and then orange to green. So right now it is starting. Okay, let me show here meanwhile that how you can create by using multiple line. You can define array by using multiple line. So let me define one new array. Okay, let me this is running, so let me show the example of that one. Let me open this browser, and into this browser I have EPG folder, in that array1 and create array, so it is Rajesh. So this is the thing. Or you can define, let me define dollar name is assigned to array. Now I can write dollar name 0 is equal to Vipul. So one name, dollar name 1 is equal to Vimal. Dollar name 2 is equal to Dinesh. Dollar name 3 is equal to Kanak. Dollar name 4 is assigned to Hardik. So this is the way I can assign value in it, and I can also display any value by just typing echo br or h1, any tag I would like to use, br element at index 4 is concatenate dollar name 4. So it will display is Hardik. Now to display all the value you can use loop. So say for example here I can write for $I is assigned to 0, $I is less than 4, because elements are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will write less than 5 or less than or equal to 4, and $I plus plus, and just I type here echo h1 dot dollar name $I and save this file to see the result. So look at here, all the name it will be display. I used h1 tag, so this will be displaying that way. So that way you can execute it. But say for example if I write here less than or equal to 6 and now I execute that code, so it will show notice undefined offset because we haven't defined index 5 here. So the better idea is that, let me write it here, another way is that you can use the function count. So you can write $count is assigned to the built-in function count and provide array name. So it is $name, and now you just need to type for $I is assigned to 0, $I is less than $count, and $I plus plus. You can check by typing value of count. You can say echo br there are total $count variables in array $name, and then we print each element by using echo br dot $name and $I. Save this one, execute this one. So it says there are total 5 variables because count will store 5 and it will display all the values here. So this is the way you can use the count function. Now if you want to use another loop is for each loop, because you don't want to use count also and you want to display each element within the array, then the for each loop will be very handy. The general syntax for each loop is you have to type for each, then you have to provide into parenthesis array name as optionally key value, then you have to use arrow operator. This is assignment operator and greater than symbol are right adjacently without any space, and provide $value. Here key is a array index value or key value which is optional. So this statement will also use, let me write here, for each $name as $value, because it can be any variable, and you can type echo h1 $value. Save this one. Let me type here first so we understand that this is from for each loop. Because we are using for each loop. Save this one, execute this one. So look at the code here. Using for each loop, it will display all the values. So this loop is very handy. You don't bother about how many elements in it. You can use for each loop, and you can also display a $index arrow operator. This is the arrow operator, assignment and greater than symbol. This is the key. Of course, you don't want to display key, you can write code that way and use this one. So the result will be same. But if you would like to know the value of key, you can also write $index equal to $value. So at what index, what value, that you can find it out. So at index 0 name is Vipul, at index 1 name is this. Of course you can write whatever way you like, that you can write in array at index $index the value is $value. So save this one and you can run. So it will display that way. Index 0 the value is Vipul, 1 is this one. So that way it will be very helpful when you use for each loop. And this for each loop supports with array, or when you use class and your object as a properties and method, at that time you can use. Otherwise for each loop is not used, because for each loop support array. We take for each example. Now to add an element in array, you can write $array name empty square bracket and assign any value to it. So this is actually append the value. The value will be added at the last position of the array. To add an element at specific index, you can write $array name into square bracket, provide index value is assigned to its value. Let me take one example for that one. Say for example, so here I will write a comment add an element, and I can write $name. This one is assigned to, let me add Sanjay. So now again I can use either for loop or for each $name as $value echo br and $value. Here you can write echo br after adding name Sanjay into array. So this one we add one value in it and I execute that code. So line 36 I have to use, the code is just a simple thing, I haven't closed this, br single quote dot dollar value. So it will display after adding name Sanjay. Now Sanjay will be added there, and as with for each loop, if you like, you can also use $index access operator, arrow operator, do not provide any space, $index dot dollar value. So if I execute that, so again it is appended. Now let me add any value at specific index. Say for example, if I type $name and index 10 is equal to Sunil. Let me type echo br after adding name Sunil at index 10, the array has value. So what are values in array now? That I can use again for each $name as $value echo br $value. So let me execute that code. So here it can display all the value. The reason is, now you may wonder what are the other values at, or what are other index, because we have up to 5 and then I directly add up to 10. So what is value of 6, 7, 10, etc. So here I type $index concatenate with and provide value. So save this file. To view the result, run this. So look at it, will display 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and directly 10. All other remaining values are null. If you not use for each loop and simply for, so that will be create problem. Let me show you. Let's say for example, if I write $C is assigned to count $name. Now I write echo br count is $C, then for, you can use any variable, $j is assigned to 0, $j less than $C and $C plus plus. You can type echo br $name $j, save. So if you look at here what I have entered is it infinite loop? I suppose $j plus plus, yes, not C. So this is infinite loop. So let me save this one, and now I reload this one. I have to close this one and reload it. The reason is that it is infinite loop. So let me open it again. I move to the local host, into local host, as it is working, but there is an infinite loop, it will take some time. Yes, now go to the EPG folder, array1, and create an array. So here it will display undefined offset 6 because the count is 7, but we define after 5 index 10, so offset 6 not available there. That's why it is show error. So it is always good idea that you use for each loop. It supports a for each loop that way that you don't bother about any of this value. So this is about how you can add an element. You can add an empty, as I have taken that, you just provide empty square bracket, so that will be append the value, and if you provide any index, so that will be added at particular index. So let me put comment in that way, because I don't want to show this notice or any warning here. Now in the similar way, to delete an element you can use unset function. The general syntax is you can write unset $array name and into square bracket you provide index. You can delete multiple elements simultaneously separated by comma and just write array name and index. If you write unset and $array name, so that will be delete the whole array. Let's take using example, let me show that. So the same way I write here, let me write echo h1 delete an element and slash h1. Let me write unset $name and at index 10. Now I can use Foreach $name as $key and $value. Just display it echo br $k dot space $v. Save this, execute it. So delete an element and now it will display 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Sunil is deleted because we provided index 10. Or if you type here unset 10 and $name and 3, so here I delete 3 value. So look at here 3 is connect, so now it will be also deleted. So you can delete multiple items from here, or to delete the whole array you can type unset $name and then you can check if is set $name, then you can write echo br array $name is exist, else echo br array $name does not exist. So we delete that array, it should display the else part. Let me execute that code. So it says array $name does not exist, right? I can write h1 so you can clearly visualize it, visible to you. Just refresh. So array $name does not exist. So this is the function that you can use to delete an array. Then another array is called associate array. The array we are using here, it is take by default index as integer value, but sometimes it is not necessary that the array index is integer, it can be string value as well. So this is known as an associate array, and in associate array you can create by providing array and then provide key 1 arrow operator and value, comma key 2 arrow operator and value, and so on. Or another way is that you can first write $array name is equal to array empty parenthesis, then $array name into square bracket provide key and assign value to 8. This will be very helpful to you. Say for example, let us create new file to give idea about associate array. So I have created a new file, save this file as a file, save as, and second associate dot PHP for associate array. So here I create let me define milk or any array name. Let me define temperature for temp, or milk category, let me define milk is assigned to array, and I define, let's say type is, define one of the milk type slim and trim, and its value is, let's say 20 rupees. If it is taza, then its value is 21 rupees. If it is cow milk, then it is 19 rupees. If it is Shakti, then it will be 22 rupee. If it is gold, category of milk is gold, then its price is 24 rupees. If it is diamond, then the price of this is, let's say, 30 rupees. This price are imaginary, but to give the idea, these are the type of milk, and here I create associate array. So the milk is associate array, right? And now you can say for each $milk as $type scope resolution operator $value, and you can write echo br milk type is $type as price $price. Let me save this file, open this file to execution of that. So it will define price on line 5. So here I have to use not price. If I want to use price, then here I want to make not $value but price, or I have to type here $value. This is, you can just name of variable that you can use any. So milk type is this, as price this. So this is associate array. I just zoom this one, and as I say, you can create by other way, that let me add an element so you get an idea. You can say $milk, and let me say T special. So its value is, let's say, 27, and then I can write after echo, after adding T special, the array milk is, let me use again Foreach $milk as $type and $price, echo br $type colon $price. So save this one and let me show it. I have not provided br, that's why I write it here. So let me make one br here to break the line, and if I execute that code, so now it will display added the T special also. In the similar way, you can delete it associate array by unset, and you can write $milk and write type name. Let's say, for example, I would like to delete gold. Let me write echo br after deleting gold milk type gold br, and once again for each $milk as $milk type and $milk value, echo br $empty colon $mv. Here you can write any statement if you prefer, but I just would like to give idea about this, how you can add and delete an element using for each. So that's why now it will be delete the this one. So this is about associate array, that how you can use it. Now the things you have to remember is that an array with integer key but gaps can also thought as associate array. Say for example, you can define index 0, index 1 and then index 5. So that means this is also as your key 0 and 1, and you provide value there. Though it is not considered good practice, but single array can contain both index as integer as well as string. Let's say for example, here I define, let me show copy paste that code so to give you idea. So $employees array, employee 0 is this, 1 is this, and then I provide key value as a string. So I use for each $employees as $key arrow operator $v echo br $k colon $v. Save this one. If I run this, so you can see here it will be display index and the value, so that you should consider. Associative array work is same as index array, only difference is here is the code, but key is used instead of index. We have already taken example for append as well as add an element and delete. In the similar way you can use with that one. Now let's take some of the array functions. So right now count we have taken, 3 more array functions I just to give idea about that. The first one is array underscore values, and you have to pass array name. So it returns new array in which the gap within array is removed and the values are re-indexed. Then end an array, so it will be moves the cursor at the last element of array, and key $array returns the index of an array element where cursor is on, and that can be used for any array, whether associative array or simple array. So let's take example of it. So let me create one more PHP file. So I create this PHP file, save as, I give this one is third one, and let's say key and last.php, because these are the two functions. These functions are key and end. Though I write last, let me say $names is an array which having value like Vipul, Vimal, Rajesh, Mitesh and Piyush. Now you can say for each, just to display $names as $name echo, let me use /t here and $name. Then you can say $new, or let me write unset $names and index 3. Now I can write $cnt is, or I can provide here for each, so let me write $index and arrow operator $name to give you better idea. So I write $index and $name. Save this one. Let me execute that file. So I open in my browser. So it is 0, 1 and this one. These are the values. That at 0 it is Vipul, 1 as Vimal, 2 as Rajesh, 3 is Mitesh and 4 as Piyush. Now unset that, and then I write this again for each loop. So now I save this and run this one. So it will display Vipul, Vimal, Rajesh and Piyush because Mitesh is deleted. So let me create new array. So let me write $new is, the function is array underscore values, and it will take $names. And then I can say $cnt is equal to count $new. Let me type echo br. There are total $cnt elements in array $names or $new. So I write new. Right now, what is the last element into it? So you can write $last is equal to end, and I have to provide $new. Let me type echo h1 the last index for array new is $last and $key is equal to key of, so the syntax for key is it's written index of elements, so again I write key $new, so let me write echo h1 the key of last element in array new is $key. Save this one. Let us just run that code to view. So the last index for array new is Piyush and the key for last index is 3. So this is the move the cursor at that point, and here I write $last, so it will return this and this will shows you the key. So this is all about array. Let's summarize that. In today's session I will first explain what is array, then we consider array element, index and value, how you can add and delete element from array, then we use for each loop, how to use associate array, and then we consider some of the built-in function. Of course there are a lot of built-in function. Some of the most useful again I take in second session of array, but this is all about array. I have used this references. You can also use these references to learn more about it.